everyone, it's Gina from Orchid and Opal.com, and I'm back today with another storage video. It's a topic that I get asked about all the time, and I can understand why. It's taken me a little while to get these videos out because my storage is constantly evolving and changing according to my needs, and we also moved last year, so I wanted to make sure that I had some systems in place that I could actually recommend and not just show you what I was doing flying by the seat of my pants until I could put these methods into place for a period of time and see what I actually like. So if you hadn't seen the first video in this series, I showed you how I store and organize my findings. And I also want to preface these videos by saying that number one, I think everybody should figure out a system of storage that works best for them. There is no one size fits all solution, and by no means am I saying that this is the best way to do it. I'm sure there are tons of other ways that are even better. This is just a series showing you what works for me based on what I have and what I need to store. Secondly, if you try out an organizational system and it's not working for you, don't hesitate to scrap it and try something different. It's going to be a series of trial and error for you, I'm sure. I know it was for me to figure out what works, what doesn't, but once you have some methods in place, I promise you it's going to save you time and it's going to save you money because you're going to know what you have and where you can find it. And then third, try to use things that you have around your house first. I'll show you some products that I like and some things that I use that I will recommend. And I'll leave that item information down below as well as links to where you can find exactly what I'm talking about. But don't be afraid to scour your house. Maybe you have some shelving that's not currently being used or some baskets, and get creative with some things that you have on hand before feeling like you have to go out and make a big purchase on all new storage and organizational items. Just like you saw in last week's video, this will be another one covering another single topic of my bead storage. Today's video will focus on my seed bead stash, and future videos will focus on multi-hole beads, crystals, stringing materials and tools, gemstone beads, and probably even works in progress and finished jewelry. So lots of things coming to share. Let's just focus on one single thing today, and that is seed beads. I'm going to show you what I have, how I store them, and that includes rounds, delicas, hex-cut, bugle beads, all of the one-hold seed beads that I have. And what you're looking at here, these are my three main organizational carts. I love these carts. I got them on Amazon. They have drawers that are interchangeable, and these carts are also on wheels, so I can move them around however I please, but they pretty much stay in place on this one wall. The nice thing is that the drawers also come out completely. So if I want to bring a whole drawer of something over to my workspace, I can do that. I don't have to bring the whole cart. I don't have to empty out the drawer in order to bring everything over. I can just pull out the entire drawer carefully and bring the whole thing over. Simple as that. The other thing is, if I want to change the order of the drawers or change the order of how things are stored, but I'm happy with the drawer contents, I can swap them out. I can move a drawer from one storage cart to another, as long as that drawer matches up to that particular drawer shape. So like the two tall carts, for example, I can easily swap those out. And then on the shorter cart, I can swap out the larger bins, and I can also swap out the smaller bins at the top however I want. They are also very easy to assemble. I assembled all of them myself. They're sturdy, and they also give you a flat and clean metallic work surface on top where you can stack other things. The little rails that go around the top are nice because things aren't going to as easily slide off the top. And as you can see at the top of the cart on the right, I have 4 of the Potomac Beads Best Bead Boxes that I'm reusing for some of my storage. I'll get into what's in those in another video. Right now, we're gonna focus on the top 3 shelves of the middle storage unit and that purple and black case. Those are pretty much all of my seed beads in that one spot. Since most of my seed bead stash is taken up by 11.0 rounds, let's first dive into the top shelf of my cart. All right, so top shelf, top drawer, and I can pull these out, and as you can see, I have all of my 11.0 seed beads in these flip top containers stacked neatly inside this drawer. I'm gonna pull out the drawer completely, and then I will give you a better view at what's inside. All right, so here are the contents of the entire drawer of 11O seed beads that I have. Right now, everything fits in this one drawer as far as that size goes. And if I add any more, I'll probably need to expand and go down to another shelf because this particular drawer is pretty full. I've tried a number of ways to store my seed beads over the years, and I find that these flip top containers are really great. They're very sturdy. They're also crystal clear and they're slim, so it's easy to stack these next to each other in the drawers and see exactly what I have. These particular containers are not cloudy, so they don't distort the color. And I can also pop a little label on the outside. I've been using these colorful sticker dots as part of my labeling organization, which I'm still working on. But in the meantime, I can write the code, for example, for that particular color, Toho round size 11, then the color number that corresponds with the name. The colored labels can also be an indication to me of where these seed beads came from. I have several different online shops that I frequent, as well as different bead boxes that I get every month. So I've kind of assigned a little system where I've assigned a color to a specific place. That way I don't have to write on the label where I got it. The color indicates that for me. The other reason I like these flip top containers is because they fit perfectly on my wall storage system, which I have shared in the past, but I'll go through that in more detail in this storage series too, as far as what I store on those acrylic shelves and how I organize them. And that way I can just stick with kind of a single type of container. I do get the different heights. This one is a little bit over 3 inches. It's the tallest one that I have. And these are also the same containers that come in the Beads of the Month Club subscription. If you're familiar with that video, they're just like little Tic Tac containers. So I definitely use those when they come in with that subscription. And then I have purchased more on my own because they are my favorite. I've used different screw top containers, other types of plastic, but like I said, for me, seed beads, the most important thing is that it needs to be secure, because who wants to have a whole container of seed beads scatter all over the place? If you drop it or just spills inside of your drawer, that's no fun. And also I need them to be completely clear, not even just a little bit cloudy, because I want to be able to quickly grab whatever color I need. That brings me to the color organization. As you can see, I've just kind of organized everything in a rainbow of colors. I've put like colors together. That way I'm not searching for my greens mixed in with oranges, purples mixed in with reds. If I'm looking for a red 11O seed bead, I can go right to this lovely little section right here of red and pick out my favorite one, or the one that coordinates specifically with my project. Saves me money, saves me time. I know what I have, and I can see clearly that I don't need any more red 11O seed beads. I have plenty to work with, as well as most of the other colors by now, as you can see. The last thing I want to mention about these seed beads is that these are all Japanese. So I know that these are going to be either Toho or Miyuki, and I've tried to label them accordingly, just because there are slight differences in the sizes of Toho and Miyuki. I also have the less precise seed beads, some that are Chinese, that are irregular in shape, similar but not precise, not great for precise beadwork. And I don't have a whole lot of those at this point, but those are stored in a different location and not in my main beading cart, because as you can see, I have plenty of the precision Japanese cut to work with, and that's just what I happen to prefer. So here's a little bird's eye view of this particular drawer in total, and how easy it is to see exactly what's in there at a quick glance. As I've mentioned before too, I'm a very visual person. That's why I have a lot of acrylic racks now that store some of my higher end beads on shelves. But seed beads, I know what they look like, so I don't need to be reminded that I have them. I'm not gonna forget that I have seed beads. These are something I do not mind putting in a drawer that I do not have to look at on a daily basis. But I know where they are, how they're stored, and can find exactly what I need very quickly when I need them. So that's the bulk of my seed beads, and I'll just show you briefly the 2 other drawers and what I have inside of those. All right, here is the second drawer in my middle storage cart, and sorry about the glare, I'll take out some of these containers. In this drawer, I have a container of bugle beads. I have my 15O seed beads, I just don't have as many of those, as well as my 8O seed beads, 6Os, and then I have another container back there of some 8Os. and I just have 2 vials of the little 15-0 check glass Charlottes back there. So these are just other round seed beads pretty much, except for the bugles, in either a smaller or larger size than the main 11-0s that I have. These are higher quality bugle beads that I have stored inside of this container. This is a very basic flip up storage container that I also got from Beads of the Month Club when they used to send these plastic containers once in a while. And they fit the vials perfectly, and that's why I've been using these. And not to mention, they fit perfectly in these drawers, 2 side by side. So I can open up the drawer, and the little flip top containers are nicely contained in these clear plastic units. And I can see exactly what I have without even needing to open boxes or other opaque containers. So I have my little 3mm bugles and my 6mm bugles. I actually don't have a whole lot, so they're just stored in this small plastic container. And then next to that, I have my size 15-0 seed beads. Again, I have them in the flip top containers. These are the smaller, like 1 inch, maybe 1 1/4, and a couple larger tubes if I have a lot of one color. And just like my 11-0 seed beads, stored in the flip top containers, really secure and easy to pack into a small space. And if you don't have a whole lot of one color, you can just put them in a smaller container. So those are in this plastic container as well. Again, I can just open the drawer and see exactly what I have. Behind that, I have another container, similar thing, containing my 8-0 seed beads. So this is what I have for the most part, except for a few in the container behind this, which I don't need to open up. I mean, they all follow the same type of organizational method, and that's what's been working for me, and I think I'll definitely be sticking with this type of method for a long time. It's easy to add on to this. If I get more 8-0 seed beads, for example, then I can just get another one of these plastic containers that are really easy to find, or something really similar. I'll open up this one. These are the 6-0s. And as you can see, I've got a bunch of empty containers next to those, just kind of keeping those in place and available as I get more seed beads coming in. Let's check out drawer number 3. And this one is not very full at all, but this is where I have my Hex-cut or MGB seed beads, the ones that are similar to delicas, but they're in that 6-sided shape. Very pretty and shiny. These are the ones that I'd gotten in a kit from BB Craft. I just swapped out the containers they came in, since I prefer the flip tops, and just put them all in this plastic container. Again, open the drawer, see what I have. Nothing's spilling out, really easy. And then in this container right now, and I say right now because storage evolves, and when you have a similar method, it's easy to move things around, like I was talking about with the drawers. So if you use similar storage methods across the board, like you use the flip top containers or these rolling carts or whatever you decide to use, make it easy for yourself to expand that in the future and move the little things around as you use them up and add to your stash. So in this container, I just have some of my demi-round seed beads over here. I have some of the little Toho cubes over here and some of the triangular seed beads down here. Not very many of each of those things, so I just went ahead and combined them into one container for now, which holds them all together and they're not sliding all around inside the drawer. Finally, the last aspect of my seed bead storage is contained in this purple and black case. And this was actually part of a kit from Amazon that was supposed to be for diamond painting and that kind of a craft. It came with some other accessories, but since I don't do the diamond painting, I swapped out what was in the kit for my delica beads. And the reason I wanted them in something like this is because with my delica beads, there's something that I can easily transport. Maybe I'm going on a short trip and I still want to do some beading, but I don't want to pack a whole lot with me. Delica beads are great because I can do some very simple beadwork and I just need a variety of colors and that's it. So this is kind of like my travel / bead storage case for that purpose. And it zips up, it's very sturdy. It actually is a pretty hard case. And as I open it up, you'll see that there's 2 parts to this storage. First, we have the bottom or the main part of this little suitcase, and this came with all of these round containers. These were all in there, so I just used the same containers they had, and they're packed in foam, so they're not going anywhere. As you can see, there's a little hole for each container. They fit perfectly, so I don't have to worry about them coming apart and rolling all over the place. I feel like they're very secure when I transport them. I would like these to be just a tad bit more clear, but that's very picky. I mean, obviously I can still see the colors and see what I have. And then here is the lid of the storage container or this little suitcase. So right now I'm just storing a extra clear storage inside. And then I have an overflow of some of the delica beads that didn't fit down below. I just had a little bit too many, so I have this overflow container with empty containers ready to go to add more. And then I have that extra clear storage container ready when I need it. And that tucks right back in here in the top of the lid. And with the seed beads being in their own container and then being in this and then being in a pocket and then being zipped up, I feel really secure about them and about taking them places. That is whenever we are able to safely travel again. But that is what is working for me as far as my delicas. Again, saying this is not going to work for everybody, and that's not the point of these videos, but I think that sharing these ideas, sharing what I do with what I have, maybe can spark some ideas for you. Maybe it'll help you think of something you hadn't thought of before. So that pretty much wraps up my seed bead storage. Once again, I encourage you to find a system that works for you. There's no one size fits all, and what works for me may not work for you. But if you want to give any of these methods a try, I do have links to these products that I shared down below the video in case you wanted to get your hands on any of them. But also as part of this video series, I want to encourage you to feel free to leave me comments down below the video to let me know how you store your seed beads. Last week when I shared the findings video, there were a lot of great comments from your fellow beaders about how they store their findings. And through everybody else's comments, we'll get an idea of all different aspects of seed bead storage. And maybe even if something in the video I shared doesn't work for you, maybe somebody will share something they're doing that resonates with you even more. So I want to give you guys a huge thank you for being with me today for my second video in this bead storage series. I'll have more to come over the next few weeks, so I hope you'll stick around. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. And also hit that subscribe button while you're here so you can come back and be notified when I'm posting more beading videos. I also have all of my social media links posted down below the video so you can follow along with me on those sites as well. And I'll be back again real soon. We have a lot of December bead boxes starting to roll in this week, so lots of fun to come. Until next time, I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your day, and I hope you're staying healthy and creative. And as always, happy beading.